Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this video, we are going to check out Gala's price chart. And if you remember in the previous update, I believe we were right in here. And the idea was in Gala, more likely than not, this move up is going to continue because in terms of classic TA, it seems like that we have confirmed a beautiful head and shoulder structure, which the target for it is going to be pretty close to this important area of supply between 1.9 to about, let's say, like the 2.1 cents area. So what happened? We did continue our move up, and now we are having a move on the downside, and I need to see a relatively strong move on the upside in Gala soon. And I have a couple of reasons for why I think we have to see that soon. Let's just zoom in more. Okay, here's the deal. Can you argue this is a wave 1, correction for 2, another move down into wave 3, correction for 4, another move down into wave 5, meaning this might be like the beginning of a correction structure and we can go for some more downward price action in Gala? The answer is maybe yes, but this isn't going to be my primary case. Why is that? You see, inside of wave 1, 3, and 5, we need to be able to find 5 waves on the downside. However, let's go on 5-minute chart. Okay, let me ask you a question. How exactly are you able to find a 5 wave down in this phase right in here? From my point of view, this is a clear-cut A, B, C in form of a zigzag, or if you want to say this is not a zigzag, it can be maybe like a WXY. Generally, I believe this is a correction structure and not an impulse, indicating in Gala, maybe this whole move is a correction and our move on the upside overall is not actually over. Now, if I want to talk about this scenario with a bit more confidence, I need to see a move on the upside in Gala happening soon in order to take this important high right in here about, let's say, 1.7.5 cents. Why is this so important? Because if we get a very strong move up, and that move is going to be in form of, you know the deal, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wall, okay, that's going to be a great sign suggesting this point is actually the low of our correction in Gala. Second important sign, if we get a move up and take this high wall, okay, at that point we can say this series of lower highs and lower lows, meaning this short-term downtrend is actually over. And again, we're going to continue our move up. And this is my final and probably the most important point. You see, you can actually argue that in Gala, we are having in like very, very short term, a head and shoulder structure. And you can say we are on the verge of confirming this pattern. Why do I say we are on the verge of confirming it? And why is it that I don't say that we have confirmed it? Because if you want to say this head and shoulder is happening, you need to see a solid break of the neckline. Excuse me, let's just take this one again. Okay, and by that, I mean, you have to see a very strong move down in order to go under this level, followed by that a pullback, and then a continuation of the move down in order to take this low. And sure, so far we are having our initial breaking phase, but you can also consider having a move up in Gala and say maybe this is just going to be a simple fake out. And again, that is exactly when the move up that I talked about earlier that we have to see comes in clutch. If we get a move up and take this high, at that point, I can actually tell you this head and shoulder is invalidated and more likely than not, is not going to work. And here is my final point. Let's go on H1 time frame. I think, no, I actually didn't talk about this. You see, what is happening in terms of indicators? We are having in here a series of higher highs right in here. However, in MACD, we are having a series of lower highs, and I believe this line, yes, it was from 30-minute time frame. Now, this is a bit of a bearish divergence, which by itself is a negative sign. However, if we get a move up in MACD and in that move, we manage to get a break of the divergence line, at that point you can say the divergence is not going to work, and as a result of it, bulls do have a lot of power, and you may see a relatively strong and sharp move on the upside again the moment that we get a break of the divergence line. And who knows, maybe that is going to happen when we get this 5-wave impulsive structure in Gala in order to take this high. That's why I believe if we see a move up in the short term, it is going to be a very, very strong bullish sign for us, indicating our move on the upside overall can actually continue for quite a bit, which again, a likely target for it is going to be reaching to about this important area of supply between 1.9 to about 2.1 cents. So let's get a move on the upside ASAP, and then we will make new updates and see where are we going to go from there. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Gala's price chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.